constitutional lawyer and public affairs analyst Fred Nziako joins me now to offer his thoughts on the imprisonment of Nnamdi Kanu, Donald Trump's threat against Nigerian terrorists, and the chaos that will appear to be unfolding in the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Good to have you on the program, Fred Nziako. Well, first, let's start with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The view has been expressed by those who know this subject that he was misled by amateur legal advisors who turned a serious legal issue into a circus and who misadvised him and who led him to sack people like Kanu Agabi SAN, Ikpeazu SAN, Paul Erokoro SAN, who are handling the matter. Persons who, from the Court of Appeal in the previous matter, had already provided a template that could have provided a different outcome. And then you have these people, all these social media, Twitter lawyers, misleading him. So do you agree with that view?
Well,
the situation, what eventually happened in the Court of Justice of Motosho, could it have been avoided if the matter was handled differently?
Well, I do not know why he debriefed those lawyers. I also do not know why he decided to defend himself. But what is those are now in the realm of history or in the realm of the past. What now bothers many Nigerians was what happened on November 20th, the day he was sentenced, and the day he was convicted and eventually sentenced. And the whole issue surrounding the trial, the whole issue surrounding the conviction and the sentencing, the attitude of the court itself, whether the court followed the law or whether the court followed personal opinion of the jurists, or whether the court, in some people's opinion, acted on a script to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is taken off the streets, in a manner of speaking. Whether Nnamdi Kanu defended himself or not, what to many people is more critical and more important is the attitude of the judge and the justice of the matter. Don't forget that in criminal adjudication, one can only be convicted when there is preponderance of evidence, one, two, and when the prosecution is able to prove the case beyond all reasonable doubt. We are not saying all iota of doubt, but at least all reasonable doubt. And that justice must not only be done, but to be seen, manifestly be seen as having been done. The generality of the public of Nigeria and even the international community do not believe that justice was done in Nnamdi Kanu's case. Don't forget that the issue of treason is a political decision by the state, because treason is an offense against the state. It has been brought to become an offense against humanity. And that is why there is an international convention against treason. And it was to be able to bring it to the level of, to align Nigeria's act with that of the rest of the world, following the UN convention, that brought to the repeal of Nigeria's 2011-2012 terrorism Prevention Act, and reenacted in 2022 with implementation in 2023 of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. Now, the whole issue about Nnamdi Kanu's matter beggars a lot of questions and defeats a lot of logic, because a lot of people, even now, Nnamdi Kanu himself had continued to say it, even rambunctiously in court, that they should show him the law with which he's being tried. Because by the time many people didn't understand, because all the people who were not privy to the charges and people who were not privy to the goings on in court were at a loss as to why would a man be charged for an offense that is not known to law in a criminal trial. Because a Nigerian statute book says that one cannot be tried for a law of an offense not codified and known to law.
Yeah.
And then
under the principle of fair
hearing,
sections 35 and 36.
Absolutely. And there is nothing like retrogressive action in law when it comes to criminal action. Yeah. We are not a military regime. Now...
No, but Nnamdi Kanu was charged under the old law.
Under the old law?
Terrorism.
He was charged under the 2020...
No, not under 2022. Under the older law of 2011.
2013,
yeah.
Not 2022, 2013. That was repealed.
That's the old law.
Oh, the old law that was repealed in 2022.
Yeah, but
so,
the new law will not take effect. That's why Chief Awomolo SAN is saying that the punishment is death penalty. He was quoting the old law, and that the accused person was charged under the old law.
The accused person was charged under the old law. Don't forget that that charge under the old law got extinguished in October 2022. When...
Yeah, but the law, you yourself just said it, cannot have retroactive effect.
We cannot have retroactive effect.
Those are issues they will resolve
no,
at the level of appeal.
No. There is one major issue that is even on the open. Okay. Because in the first instance, don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu had earlier been acquitted by the Federal High Court before federal government went to Court of Appeal. And every moment an accused is acquitted, discharged and acquitted, he goes home from the court. He can only go back to the prison or to wherever he was detained to collect his personal items. If he doesn't want, he can abandon them there. If he doesn't want, he can go from there to his house. If he doesn't want, because at the end of the day, the federal government refused to release him. So at that point of that discharge and acquittal in October of 2022, the court became functus officio. So you can no longer hold on that old law. But by the time you saw the judgment from the Constitutional Court, it was referring to the 2013 charge. So that became a very, very strong issue against that judgment and against the entire procedure. Okay. There are so many other issues which time may not allow us to explain.
These are issues that can be worked out when the matter goes to the Court of Appeal. Aloy Ejimako has already said they will go on appeal. Yes, and that by Monday, tomorrow, they are going to file...
He has a whole 90 days. We think we to do so.
However,
so he can do that at any time. The thing to note is that Justice
Omotosho even said, he was tampering justice with mercy. He was not applying the full teeth of the law. However, what do you think is the way forward? And don't you think that the matter was even complicated by the conduct of the accused person who discharged his own counsel? I mentioned the very senior lawyers who know the territory. Now, in this same case, what's his name now? Ozekome, SAN, was involved. Kanu Agabi, SAN. Paul Erokoro, SAN. Ikpeazu, SAN. These are people who know the law, the in and out of it, who could have provided a different kind of pathway and who could have handled the matter. But we had the accused person abusing the presiding judge, and you said, the presiding judge is a problem. What do you expect his lordship to have done in a situation whereby the accused person took over the proceedings of the court and questioned his integrity, questioned his... So what the judge did eventually in the 144-page judgment that I have seen is that he just applied the law. Simply.
Dr. Albert, you may say so, the judge may claim so, but the judge committed what majority of the people describe as a travesty of justice, and I tell you why.
No, don't quote mob opinion. You are a lawyer.
He's not a mob opinion because there are the facts are there. The judge jumped into the arena. The judge even usurped the office of the executive.
How?
I'll tell you why. It does not lie in the purview of the court to decide where a convict will be kept. The very moment you decide, you give it your judgment, you become functus officio. It is the duty of the executive to determine.
Which means that the matter has ended.
Yeah, the matter has ended. It's the duty of the for the judge to say.
What functus officio
for the judge to say he has to be kept in a certain form of confinement He's jumping into the arena. He's overreaching his office.
Was it the
So
judge that said he must be taken to Sokoto?
The judge said so, and possibly for them to have taken him to Sokoto, they may be obeying again the order of the court, which of course is an illegal order because he has become functus officio.
No,
it is
but
not
I
the
didn't
duty.
see Sokoto prison.
It is not the duty
in that judgment.
It is not the duty of.
No, is it stated in the judgment?
No, Dr. Abati, it's not the duty of the judge to say where he will be kept.
No, is it in the judgment?
No, it's not in the judgment.
Have you read it?
No, but he said so in the judgment that
he said it should be taken to Sokoto.
He didn't say Sokoto. He said in a special confinement. He said so. So, and people were asking, would he be taken to Robben Island in South Africa or Guantanamo Bay in Rhode Island in America, since they wanted him to be completely out of circulation? The judge, in his wisdom, may be thinking that keeping him in an environment where people can have access to him, that people will be coming to visit him, and of course people will be going to visit him. And now the government are now throwing him to Sokoto. What is the basis for throwing him to Sokoto? That is one. But leave that for the executive to answer. But you can query the judge for making such statement because it does not lie in his purview. Again, the injustice done against Nnamdi Kanu
was that part of the ratio or part of?
It was part of the angst you mentioned that he insulted the judge.
No, I didn't say.
No, he said that he insulted the judge in the open court, the presiding judge, and I now ask if anybody misconducts himself in the court, is it not contempt?
No, but
contempt in the face of the court.
But that judgment
so it cannot come in any way close to issue of terrorism. If the judge felt he was insulted,
whatever the judge may have said, obita.
The same way
immaterial.
is good. The same way President Muhammadu Buhari now converted ordinary law of thought to a criminal offense. Nnamdi Kanu insulted Buhari. Yes, it's open. He called him all sorts of names. He has the reasons for calling him also names. We criticize such calling of names because he was our president. But we have a law that says, if I insult you, Dr. Abati, you take me to court. It's a civil offense. It can't be a crime that he insulted the president, and now the president now turned it to become terrorism. Now, another issue that very important, another issue that still keeps hanging on is, if you look at all the counts, the 7 counts, a lot of them will be talking about his broadcasts. Almost about 5 of the charges talk about his broadcasts. And that is why his lawyer said, how has Mayor Puffy word of mouth amount to terrorism? You know that when you are talking about criminal issues, you are talking about the actus reus and the mens rea, the reasons and the action. If
the mind to commit,
and then the act itself, committal of that act. Where is the committal of the act, and where is the mind to commit the act? What he did was he insulted the authorities because he possibly felt that he was not getting what he expected from the system. So these are all the issues that will come on appeal at the end of the day.
Don't let us reopen the case. All these elementary things about criminal law, let's put them aside.
Yes.
The matter has already been determined now at this stage. What is the way forward? What do you recommend?
No, but of course,
as counsel.
No, it's very simple.
Were you part of?
No, I was not part of illegal team.
So, what do you recommend?
No, it's very simple. They will go on appeal.
Yeah.
And they have to go on appeal timeously because our law says he has 90 days to appeal. But the legal team is up to the task, and they said they are not going to waste any time. But another thing that is important is that now that the written judgment is out, they get satisfactory copy of the judgment and they begin to prepare sift through it, bring out all the grounds of appeal, and then go ahead and file the appeal. And that's all. That is the only way forward. And the next way forward is to appeal to Ndigbo to take it easy, that this injustice cannot stand. So there's no need trying to get agitated. There's no need trying to resort to self-help. There's no need trying to injure ourselves or injure the people, all in the name of getting angry. Because the law, yes, is an ass, but the same law will be utilized to right the wrongs that have been done against Nnamdi Kanu. I say this advisedly and without any fear of equivocation, that the federal government of Nigeria has not handled Nnamdi Kanu's matter in a judicial.
So what do you advise
with
the
justice.
Nigerian government?
The Nigerian government, if I am to advise the government, this time around, the buck now stops on the table of the CNC. The CNC has now, when he pardoned some criminals and Nigerians raised their voices, and people said, oh, why are you not pardoning Nnamdi Kanu? The handlers of the federal government, of the president said the matter is still in court. Today, the court has discharged the matter. Now, the executive can now take over and apply the prerogative of mercy. It is completely at the discretion of Mr. President. And if I'm to advise him, I'll ask him to do so and calm frayed nerves so that we will begin to limit the challenges of insecurity we have in Nigeria. It is mounting all around the country. Let us not add to the problems. It's like pouring fuel into a raging fire.
Okay. Let's see whether the law is truly an us, as I think it was Charles Dickens who wrote about the law being an ass in the mouth of Mr. Bumblebee in one of his writings.
Yes.
Well, let's talk. The Lady Justicia is the blind lady of justice within a sword. With a scale of balance. But
and
Nigerians are saying...
eyes closed.
Yes.
No, the one in Nigeria.
The Nigerians are saying that Lady Justicia is now open eyes.
Is a squinty Lady Justicia in Nigeria. With one eye squinty. One eye closed, one eye...
Are you criticizing my belots? You are criticizing the bench.
I am criticizing the Lady Justicia, not the bench.
Which editors?
The Lady Justicia.
No.
Nigerian Lady Justicia has squinty eyes. One is closed, one is open.
Okay, finally, before I let you go.
Yes.
Your quick comment on what is happening with insecurity in Nigeria. We have a delegation in the United States at the moment, meeting with the Americans and with President Trump, insisting that he will still come gun a-blazing to Nigeria because Nigerian leaders are not doing what they should do. And that even if they are trying, they are not doing enough.
Dr. Abati, you say it in law, res ipsa loquitur, that the action speaks for itself. It is visible that even the blind can see that the government is not doing enough. So Nigerian government is majoring in the minor. Instead of tackling those insecurity situations, they are spending energy, time, and resources going to placate America that have seen it, said it, and ready to come to our rescue. Is there anything wrong with allowing America to come and remove that cancer that has been troubling Nigerian state since 2009, which government after government had not been able to cure, had not been able to remove? Is there anything wrong with it? Has America said they are going for a regime change? Forget all these narratives that people are spawning around. America has never said they are coming to a regime change. They have not even said that, oh, we are interested in your resources. Resources that are being stolen by other nationals that are less interested. That are less interested.
But these things are
stolen by other nationals.
These things are not as simplistic.
With collaboration of Nigerian elite. Abati. Doctor,
these things are not
no matter how
simplistic.
you try to paint it, those who know have said it, both in government and out of government, in the legislature, in the executive, and the judiciary. People like you who are very versatile, Don't tell me you don't know. You know. You may not want to say it.
No, I'm a student. I'm learning.
But you are a very good one because you know what I'm talking about. Being stolen by other nationals in collaboration with Nigerian elite. So is that the same resources that we say, oh, America is coming to take, therefore let them not come? The spate of insecurity in Nigeria should worry everybody. It is moving like wildfire. And need to be stopped. It needs to be quenched. So government must do everything possible to quench it and not run up and down trying to placate other countries. The more they try to placate them and the events are happening, you just read it out before we started the discussion, over 300 people stolen, kidnapped in Niger State, the highest ever. In 1 week, a litany of kidnap, killings, and rest of them, you can count them up to 10 in a week. So what does it tell you? It tells you simply that government is not doing enough. Because if government was doing enough, we wouldn't get to where we are today. So my only advice to government is to try to realize that politics comes after, politics is subservient to good governance. And politics comes once in a while, good governance is a continuum. The very moment you try to play politics above good governance, your house will begin to leak. And that is why Nigerian house is leaking. And Nigeria is being called all sorts of names. The national community, the citizens are not, the citizens are not happy. They are not patriotic because they don't see anything good coming out from being Nigerian citizens. The government is not also not doing well because they themselves are playing politics more than good governance.
Okay, Mr. Fred Nziako, lawyer, public comment affairs analyst, we want to thank you very much. You say Nigeria's house is leaking. Well, we have another guest who is ready in our Abuja studio who is going to say, I imagine, that Nigerian house is a house that we can rebuild.
Yes, we
it's
can.
A house that can stand.
Yes.
It's a house that can engage
with
the international community.
I'm not saying it cannot be rebuilt.
Yeah. You see, I am glad that this man found the courage to speak over this very matter. And I'm glad that Dr. Abati is fighting the truth the way he is fighting it here. I am glad Dr. Abati is fighting the truth the way he is fighting it here. But there is one thing with life. You see, an injustice for one person is an injustice for all. That evil you condone today because it happened against another person, because it did not happen towards you, don't be surprised. It might come back knocking at your door. This man has said it all. Under which law was he convicted? How can you convict a person with a repealed law? How possible is that? But that's the justice that we had from Omotosho. A man is being sentenced for terrorism, convicted for terrorism, only because of words of mouth. No actual case linking him to terrorism. Simply because he made broadcasts. He broadcasted in London. He broadcasted in Kenya. He broadcasted in West Africa. None of them was broadcasted in Nigeria. But he was convicted for terrorism. I don't want to talk too much, man. He's a lawyer. He knows what he's talking. When people are talking, some people think people are talking because they don't understand what they are talking. When you listen to people who knows what they are talking, I believe you can make sense out of the question that Nnamdi was asking in the courtroom. Show me the law upon which I am being tried. That was the question Nnamdi kept on asking, even up to the date. Even up to the day he was convicted. God bless you.